Welcome to Before the Heights on the SEC Network. We are at the O-Dome on the campus of the University of Florida as the second-ranked Gators host the 8th-ranked Crimson Tide. Hello, everyone. I'm John Roethlisberger alongside, once again, former NCAA champion and world champion Bridget Sloan. Bridget, a top 10 matchup to here tonight, number 8 versus number 2. What can we expect?
Honestly, we need to expect big gymnastics because these teams are entering the final part of their regular seasons. So stuck landings and hit those handstands.
And this has been a great matchup in recent years. The overall history between these two teams has not been good to the Gators as Alabama leads big time. But in the last 10 years, it's tied up 5-5. That tie is going to be broken today. And this is a big one for Florida as well. They get the win tonight. They win their second straight SEC regular season title, which would be a nice feather in the cap for head coach Jenny Rowland. You know, for Alabama and Coach Dana Duckworth, they're coming off a really emotional win, Bridget. They had hosted Arkansas last weekend, and things didn't go as planned, but they got the win, and it was a big one.
They didn't go as planned, but just like you said, they got the win. Those athletes rallied together, ended up coming up with a phenomenal floor score for them, and again, they got the win.
And it was big because Griffin James, the first gymnast up, suffers a big injury, and the rest of the team rallied, and what a rally it was, their high score on that event for the entire season. Now for Jenny Rowland, it seems like from day one, this team has been hot.
They have been, and you know what? As long as they can keep consistent and keep healthy, they are exactly where they need to be leading up to the end of regular season on to postseason.
Top 4 on every single event, ranked second in the country at this point of the year. And a big reason is this young lady, Trinity Thomas. She's about as good as they come.
She is. And, you know, I talked to her earlier this week, and I said, Trinity, I want to see a perfect 10. John and I have yet to see a perfect 10, and if anyone can do it, it is this lady right here. She has just been a rock for this Florida team, and she's so composed when she competes. She really is a beautiful athlete to watch on every apparatus.
She's gotten a 10 on bars, 2 of them on balance beam, and certainly capable of a 10 on any event at any moment. Mark our words, she will be contending for the NCAA all-around title when the season comes to a close. A few things to watch for. We're going to talk about the NCAA postseason. It's complicated. They changed the format going into last season. It's an exciting one. We'll talk about that. We'll also talk about the SEC tournament because that might be the most exciting tournament in all of college gymnastics. And then, of course, we'll talk about the SEC honors around the conference as well. The projected lineups for both of these teams tonight. Florida starts on vault, Alabama on bars. And here's what you will be seeing on those events.
Link to Pink Meet with us. Gators, let's have a big round of applause and welcome to our survivors.
Like how a single word can make a heart open. I might only have one match, but I can make an explosion.
And now, ladies and gentlemen, let's meet the gymnasts. First, our visitors from the University of Alabama, the Crimson Tide. A freshman from Ponte Vedra Beach, Florida, Ella Burgess. A junior from Cape Coral, Florida, Lexi Graber. A freshman from Dallas, Texas, Luisa Blanco. A sophomore from Deerfield Beach, Florida, Emily Gaskins. A junior from Boonton, New Jersey, Alonza Cloffer. A senior from Algonquin, Illinois, Shay Mahoney. A sophomore from Surrey, Canada, Shalyn Olson. A senior from Lexington, Kansas, Maddie Desch. A freshman from Pickerington, Ohio, Makari Doggett. A sophomore from Newport Beach, California, Jency Gibbons. A senior from Spearfish, South Dakota, Winter Childers. And a junior from Spanish Fort, Alabama, Kylie Dixon. The assistant coaches for the Crimson Tide are Bill Lorenz and Ryan Roberts. And the head coach for the University of Alabama, Dana Duckworth. coach for your University of Florida Gators, Jenny Rowland. And now, ladies and gentlemen, we ask that you please rise and join in singing as we honor the United States of America with our national anthem. Signed this evening for the hearing impaired by members of the Signing Gators and performed tonight by Julie Nance.
Oh, say, can you see by the dawn's early light what so proudly we hailed at the twilight's last gleaming, whose broad stripes and bright stars through the perilous fight o'er the ramparts we watched were so gallantly streaming, and the rockets ran blue, the bombs bursting in air gave proof through the night that our flag was still there. Oh, say does that star-spangled banner yet wave o'er the land of the free and the home of the brave?
Ladies and gentlemen, our judges for our competition tonight are Catherine Batch, Gwinnett Bias, Joyce Wallace, Amy Duguid, and Carol Turley.
Coming up, number 8 Alabama versus number 2 Florida next on the SEC Network. Welcome to Friday Night Heights presented by Belk. We're at the O-Dome on the campus of the University of Florida as the second-ranked Gators host the 8th-ranked Crimson Tide. Hello everyone, I'm John Roethlisberger, once again joined by former NCAA champion and world champion Bridget Sloan. Bridget, we have a great matchup tonight. Let's start with Alabama. They're coming off an emotional win.
They're coming off a very emotional win from last week, but you know what? That team rallied. They had an injury going into the floor rotation. Griffin James went down, but Dana has to be so impressed. Her team really came together, and they had a lights-out performance on floor exercise.
That was actually their season best on the floor exercise, their high score there. You can see Dana Duckworth in her 6th season, 5 season or career highs in that floor rotation. Quite emotional. Now on the other side of the floor, Jenny Rowland's team, from day one, they have been hot.
They have been so dominant, just coming into every competition aggressive, and balance beam for them is their best event. They are ranked number 1 in the NCAA right now, and that is a make or break event for most teams, but not for the University of Florida. They are so strong on that event and putting up big scores.
It has been a make event for the Florida Gators. They are highly ranked on every event, actually in the top 4, and that is how you become the second-ranked team in the country. Jenny Rowland has to be happy with where they sit currently. They're going to start on the vault, are the Florida Gators. Here is their vault lineup. Bridget, a strong event, like all of them for Florida, but what can we expect?
You're going to see some big vaults tonight. There are going to be 3 vaults. Your last 3, Savannah, Trinity, and Peyton. Those are 10-0 start values, and the more 10-0s you have, the more chance you have of scoring that big score.
We're going to start things off with Jasmine Foberg. She's really been a nice surprise for Jenny Rowland this year. Worked very hard to get in this lineup.
And a nice Yurchenko full. A slight hop backwards, but what a start. Her job right here is just to set the tone. Very aggressive, nice block. Very, very nice job for Florida.
That is going to be the enthusiasm corner there. I have a feeling where Florida's going to land those vaults. Coaches, fans, right next to that vault landing. Going to be exciting. Now, Kylie Dixon, one of the highest flyers on the uneven bars, gets things started for the Crimson Tide.
Kylie is stunning on this event, and you're going to see why right here. She is very tall. She's much taller than your average gymnast, but she does a great job on this event. From her execution, her toe point to her shoulder extension, and talking about flying high, you're going to see why right here. Huge Tkachev, way above the high bar. Fights for that landing, very nice job. She is excited. Just a beautiful athlete on this event. Takes everything just above and beyond. She is so high on her dismount, knows exactly where she is. They're gonna take a step or a deduction on that landing, but great start for Alabama.
A great event for Alabama is the uneven bars. They're 5th in the country on that event, and that's been an event that's really carried them quite a bit this season. Now back over to vault. This is junior Megan Skaggs. Jasmine Foberg, a very good start score for them, a 9.85.
Megan actually has a 9.9 as a season high. And this is going to be another Yurchenko full. One thing I love that she does, though, is she keeps those hips open. Very impressive, Yurchenko full. And in tonight's competition, you're going to see 6 gymnasts per team compete in each event. You're going to see 5 of the best scores count. The lowest will be dropped from each team's event total. After all 4 apparatuses, the team with the highest cumulative score will win the meet. The home team, University of Florida, will start on vault, go to bars, beam, and floor, and Alabama will start on bars, go over to vault, floor, and then end on balance beam.
Kylie Dixon, a 9.875, so they top Florida's start score on vault. An impressive beginning here on the uneven bars. Now Emily Gaskins, sophomore from Coral Springs, Florida.
This is where Alabama can really pull away from the University of Florida on uneven bars. Big error there for Emily, but gets it right back. Very nice Cass handstand. She needs to finish this routine as strong as she can. Big hop on that landing, but you saw her hand actually came off the bar, but got it right back.
That's going to be a big error, though, right?
And little short on that Cass handstand. See what the judges, she's right in between that green and yellow color, which you want to be right in the green, right in vertical.
Not a lot of smiles on the sidelines after that routine for Emily Gaskins. Unfortunately, Megan Skaggs, a 9.85, and now Sierra Alexander gets her chance to fly on vault.
And you mentioned fly on vault, and you are going to see that right here. Wow, huge Yurchenko full. I don't know what deduction they're going to take on that vault.
You will be hard-pressed to find a better Yurchenko full in the entire country than that one.
She flares it out. She keeps her hips open. Amazing block off the vault. This is a 9.95 star value.
And my question is, where's the half twist? Because that was a ginormous ball.
Lexi Graber.
It's a perfect score of a 9.95. Cannot get higher than that on that vault. Incredible.
All smiles and hugs over there for the University of Florida.
So Emily Gaskins, who was a replacement, last-minute replacement for Winter Childers, ends up with only a 9.525. Now Lexi Graber's got to stop the bleeding. This is a big routine.
And what these judges are looking for on uneven bars, the handstands, you want to be vertical in your handstand. You want to see big releases, and then the landings. Stick those landings. That is the last thing the judge sees. No room for air in that pass handstand, just the dismount. Very nice for Lexi.
Looks like she was flirting with danger right here on this release move, Bridget.
She's been really working on those legs and actually bends her right leg, so that is going to be a deduction. Working on the little details, a little bit of a leg separation as you saw right there, but gets those heels together and gets that stick.
And they've got to be perfect the rest of the way because Florida has brought it right out of the gate. A 9.95 for Sierra Alexander, and they haven't even had a 10-0 vault go yet. And they have their first one right here, Savannah Schoenherr.
This is a blind landing, and Savannah is so powerful on this event. Wanted that stick so bad, ended up taking a very, very minor step, but that's a 10-0 start value right there.
Take a close look at the foot. Oh, you got to deduct. You got to take a half, right, Bridget?
You got to take a half tenth there, but other than that, she has great form. If I'm being really, really picky, I would love to see her knees a little bit straighter.
Incredible start for Florida. Lexi Graber a 9.8, so obviously they hit her on that Ginger. They are going to need to put up some big numbers. They want to keep this close. Jency Gibbons is the next gymnast up for the Crimson Tide. She is a sophomore. This is really her event. Ranks number 20 in the country, has a high score of a 9.925. They would love to see her beat that right now.
Aggressive cast handstand to start things off. A little bit of leg separation when she caught that release move. And just the dismount. She has scored a 9.925 on this event.
Oh, they needed that one.
Gets that stuck, landing. In this release move, she had a little bit, you see her catch and her legs separate just a little bit. But an aggressive cast handstand right where she needs to be, no room for deduction.
Yeah, she really, you said aggressive handstand. She really knocked those casts right up to that vertical position. Pretty impressive. Savannah Schoenherr, a 9.9. Now Trinity Thomas.
She flies on this event. A little bit of a hop. When I talked to her earlier this week, I said, Trinity, I want to see a 10 on ball. And she was like, you and me both. But I got to stick my landing. Nice form throughout. Just a slight hop. Just such a small step. But that is going to be a deduction. But that is a 10-0 start value for Trinity.
Trinity has been unbelievable this season for Florida. Jency Gibbons, a 9.85. Now Shay Mahoney.
Very nice transition.
You can see that 9.525. Alabama can drop that low score, but they need two more hits. One right here from Shay.
Little short on that cast handstand. Alabama cannot afford to give any temps away here. But gets the landing on that dismount. And right here, that handstand was a little bit short into her release, but very nice rotation. And you see she flies on this tuck full in and gets that stuck landing.
They have one more to go on bars. There's one more to go on vault. Trinity Thomas got a 9.9. Now Peyton Richards, the star freshman for Jenny Rowland and the Gators this year, she will finish off this vault rotation.
This is another 10-0 start value. A little bit of luck legging that landing. She had to shuffle her feet a little bit. Just not the height to really get the full 1.5. Definitely bend those knees, save her body, but nice distance from the ball.
As strange as it sounds, it feels like Alabama dodged a little bit of a bullet with those last three vaults. They didn't nail them quite like they were capable of, which left a little on the floor, so to speak. Now, Shay Mahoney, a 9.875, that's big. And now the star freshman for Alabama, Makari Doggett.
Makari is an all-arounder for Alabama, and she is stunning on uneven bars. You will only see her in a couple events tonight. Beautiful cast handstand and a stuck double layout dismount. She may only be a freshman, but she competes like she's a veteran.
We're going to wait on this score. Peyton Richards, a 9.85 on vault. So bookend 9.85s for Florida, their starting score and their finishing score. In the middle, they have got 2 9.9s and a 9.95. So a good vault rotation for Florida. It looked like it was going to be maybe a career one for this program, not quite. Meanwhile, Alabama, they will drop that 9.525. Makari Daugette's score certainly will be higher than that. 1 month remains in the regular season. When we come back, we'll take a look at what these teams have to look forward to in the postseason. Presented by Belkin. It was an exciting first rotation. When the dust settles, it's Florida by 1/10. Daugette, by the way, on bars, a 9.95, so a great finish for Alabama on that event. Now, Bridget, both of these teams have 3 regular season competitions remaining before the postseason starts. And the postseason starts with the conference championships, the SEC championships for both of these teams. You've been in it. What's it like?
It is the best competition. In my opinion, it was my favorite competition to compete in. The energy is just electric in that arena. And I love that every team brings their fans that get to come, and then it's just this big rivalry, fun rivalry, of course, but it's so much fun being in that atmosphere.
Well, it's going to be a good one. It's March 21st in Duluth, Georgia. Do not miss it. If you can be there, get there, because like Bridget said, it's one of the most exciting competitions in college gymnastics. Now, once they leave the conference championships, it's off to one of these 4 sites for 36 teams, Bridget.
Yes, you're going to have the regionals in Norman, Oklahoma, Denver, Colorado, and University Park, Pennsylvania, ending with Los Angeles, California.
So for these 36 teams, they move to the NCAA Regional Championships and ultimately the NCAA Championships. Break down exactly how this works.
So there are 4 regions. There are 3 days of competition. The top 36 teams are chosen based on the NQS scores. The regionals first round. This is teams ranked in the 29 through 36. They compete in dual meets, and the winners then advance to day 2. This is going to be 2 quad meets in each region. Top 2 teams from each quad meet will advance to day 3, which is the final day of competition. There will be 1 quad meet in each region. The top 2 teams will advance to the NCAA semifinals, which is where you will see another 2 quad meet sessions. And then top 2 teams from each session will compete into the day of the national championship, the final day of competition, where you will see a team crowned the NCAA champion.
You will also get a chance to see 4 all-arounders and 4 individual event specialists advance to those finals. It is an incredible, exciting format, one of the most exciting in all of collegiate athletics. The score here, Florida by 1/10 after 1, but now Alabama goes to the vault. Florida goes to the bars. Lexi Graber leads the way for the Crimson Tide. She nailed it last week. We'll see what she can do this week. Florida on bars. Savannah Shanehair, number 6 in the country, leads the way for the Gators on that event. So a pretty special program they have here at Florida as part of the Friends of Jacqueline Foundation. A number of teams here at Florida adopt a patient, a cancer patient, and make them part of the team. And for the gymnastics program, it's young Bailey Warner. She got the biggest ovation when she came out on the floor for introductions, and you can see each of the teams here that is shown. Soccer, lacrosse, volleyball, softball, as well as gymnastics, has adopted a young cancer patient. And I met the founder of Friends of Jacqueline before the competition today, Dennis Murphy, and he said to me, this is an opportunity for these young people to forget about the beast. And there are no more true words, and quite an impact that these athletes are making on these young people. It's so great to see. Now back to action. Alabama moves to vault, just 1/10 behind. We thought it could have been a lot worse, Bridget.
We did, but this is where they're going to have to really pick it up here and put up some big scores. And that is a nice start.
That's Ella Burgess starting things off for Alabama. Bailey is just down the way from where we're sitting. Had a chance to talk with her, and she is all smiles and quite an inspiration. You can see her hair there. It's braided, and that's a big deal for a cancer patient to get that hair back. And she had it braided today, and I'm sure she was happy about that. So we wish her the best in recovering. Now back over to the uneven bars in Florida. Coming off that exciting vault rotation, this is Peyton Richards.
Little bit of leg separation in that release from the low bar to the high bar. One thing Owen said about Payne is she is such a hard worker on every event. Nice double layout, a small hop. Out of all her events, I think this is the one she has to work extra hard on. But she is putting in the work in practice, and it is showing in the competition. You saw her legs separate just a little bit in that double layout. Very few minor deductions in that bar routine.
Second up on vault is going to be Maddie Desch. She is a senior out of Lexington, Kansas. Engage, a very well-renowned club, produced numerous Olympians, including Courtney McCool and Taryn Humphrey. She follows Ella Burgess' score of a 9.8.
This is a 9.95 start value. Another Yurchenko full. One thing Maddie does almost perfectly on this event is her control and her landings.
Coming up after this competition, we're going to go out to Fayetteville, Arkansas. Gracie Day and the Auburn Tigers are visiting the Razorbacks. Number 20, Auburn versus number 14, Arkansas. That should be a good one. Don't go anywhere once we are done here in Gainesville. Peyton Richards started with a 9.825. Now senior Rachel Gowie with her first chance to compete tonight.
Very nice release. One thing, Rachel has exquisite execution on this event.
Former elite gymnast and Pan American Games gold medalist on the uneven bars.
And double layout. She worked so hard on that dismount yesterday in practice, and it shows tonight. Hard work definitely paying off for her. Very nice release. Slight step on that dismount, but a very clean double layout.
How about the feet in the air? You see that numerous times from athletes. Did the judges catch that from the side?
I don't think the judges can see it quite as vividly as we can from our angle.
Now Shea Mahoney follows Maddie Desch's 9.825, so scores building for Alabama.
A very nice and clean Yurchenko full. I have to give this Alabama team credit. They are being very controlled on their landings. Nice execution. Just a slight hop. Being a senior, I know Shea is taking in all these moments.
One of the leaders of this Florida Gator team, senior Amelia Hunley, had a chance to talk to her before the meet came over and said she can't believe it. Already her senior year, she's trying to enjoy it, and not a lot of reasons not to enjoy this season so far for the Gators. Rachel Gowie at 9.85, so very close between these two teams so far early in the second rotation.
Amelia is very aggressive on this event.
Number 26 in the nation right now on uneven bars.
Nice transition right up to the high bar. A little short on that cast handstand. But a stuck landing. She is excited, as she should be. And you see she is going to transition right up to the high bar. A Shaposh half. She's actually a little bit crooked there. Tries to get it back and is pretty short on that cast handstand. The judges will take off for that. But a nice dismount to end that routine.
On vault, 9.8, 9.825, and another 9.825 are the scores for Alabama as Luisa Blanco, freshman from Dallas, Texas.
Very consistent on this event.
That's a stuck.
Stunning Yurchenko full.
Not the biggest one we've seen, but man, can't get better on the landing.
You really can't, and she has perfect form. A little bit lacking in her block, which is why it wasn't quite as high as some of the other Yurchenko fulls, but
it might be a good case study to see how the judges treat amplitude, because the rest of the vault seemed perfect, including the landing. If it's not a 9.95, we'll know how they value that. That'll be interesting to see. Megan Skaggs, the fourth gymnast to go, as Amelia Hunley puts up her season high 9.9.
Megan is going to have a difficult combination right here. Tkachev right down to the low bar. Little short on that half pirouette. But holds that past handstand. A little bit of lack of control on that landing. Had to take a hop backwards, but overall that was a very nice and clean routine.
Is it a hop and a step? We'll get another look right here.
No, that's a college hop.
We have the college step, now we have the college hop. Learning something new every day on Friday Night Heights. Luisa Blanco, a 9.85. Now we got a couple of huge vaults to finish out this rotation for Alabama.
Shallon is actually currently vying for that Canadian Olympic team right now. She has a very difficult vault here, a Yurchenko double twist. A little bit low, in my opinion. Would love to see her get a little bit higher off that vault, but she gets that around. Very clean landing.
Looks like she snuck this twist around right at the end there.
She almost delays. She gets her block and then does a full and then just a really quick second full.
One of the very few Yurchenko double fulls you'll see in college gymnastics. Exciting piece of gymnastics. Now, Trinity Thomas is going on bars. She is not ranked very high, as you can see, 121st in the NCAA, but that's because she's counting a fall on this event so far. She also has a 10, so we expect that to change as we go through the season here and start to go to NQS.
Beautiful on this event. She just floats through the air.
Megan Skaggs right before her, a 9.85.
Just the dismount.
Wow.
Not going to be a perfect 10 there. She had to take a hop on that landing in her dismount, but she just floats through the air on all of her releases. Very nice Shaposh half right up to the high bar. And this is one of the best double layouts, I think, in college. Just a very small hop on that landing.
That was an exquisite double layout. That's a big word for me to use, by the way. I don't pull that one out often. Shallon Olsen, a 9.85, so if they hit her on that vault for some of that execution you mentioned. Now, Lexi Graber, she nailed this last week, and man, could they use that right now.
This is a 10-0 start value.
Oh!
Yurchenko 1.5, and that is a stuck landing. Alabama needs a big score.
And they're going to get it. They're going to drop Ella Burgess's 9.8 that they started with. And what does this get, Bridget?
A little bit of leg separation at the very end. They seem to be pretty picky tonight, but total control on that landing.
You will not see a better stuck landing after a 1.5. Somebody gave her a 10, but the final score doesn't look like it's going to be a 10, but very close. It's a 9.975, and now the number 6 ranked gymnast in the country, Savannah Shane-Hare.
Beautiful release. Savannah is such an aggressive bar worker. She came into this season knowing that bars was going to be her event, and she has been proving herself every weekend. Very difficult, double front with a half. Had to take a slight hop. You see this Florida Gator team right now, they're not getting those sticks, those minor details.
And that's going to be what keeps Alabama close after this rotation, is no stuck landings on bars.
Absolutely.
We're going to wait on Savannah Shane-Hare's score. It should be tight again. Trinity Thomas got a 9.9. Florida looking to drop a 9.825 as their low score. Wow, what a great first two rotations so far here in Gainesville. This is shaping up to be a nail-biter right down to the very finish, Bridget. Florida will be going onto the balance beam next. Alabama will be going onto the floor exercise. Looks like a 9.85 for Savannah Shane-Hare to finish out the uneven bar rotation. Coming up, it's Bridget's Breakdown, and she's going to give you a market watch on whose stock is up and whose stock is down as we head into the SEC Championships. SEC as we are today, and you can see that break in the middle right behind the Georgia Bulldogs, and the reason that's important is because if you're not in the top 4 in the conference heading into the SEC Championships, that means you're not in that evening session. If you're not in the evening session of the SEC Championships, it's almost impossible to win that competition. And this week in Bridget's Breakdown, it's our stock market version of women's gymnastics in the SEC. And Bridget, I want you to break down for us, whose stock are you buying? Whose stock are you selling as we head into these SEC Championships? Who's going to be in that top 4 and contend?
I mean, the University of Florida is my #1 pick right now. They're ranked #2 in the NCAA, and they have just been a dominant force since day one. And I have to give them credit. They have a dynamic duo right now that is dangerous. Trinity Thomas and Peyton Richards, they have just been outstanding the entire season, putting up big scores, gaining that confidence that they're going to need going into the postseason. Trinity has posted multiple perfect 10s. She knows how to hit that perfect 10 score, and Peyton Richards right behind her doing phenomenal. And then LSU, they've been very up and down this whole season. A little bit of injuries here and there, but again, they have their own dynamic duo. Freshman Kaya Johnson and senior Kennedy Edney, 2 athletes who have really been leading this team. And Kaya Johnson, I mean, we've said it so many times, but she will be SEC Freshman of the Year. She is so strong, and she's such a simple worker. And then Kennedy Edney just loves to get out there and compete, and it's so impressive. And Alabama, we're seeing them here tonight compete in front of a huge crowd, and they have really struggled on an event that is going to be crucial for them, balance beam. They really need to get their confidence back on that event. But Makari Doggett is a key factor for them. Getting her healthy and as an all-arounder, she's a very dangerous competitor. She is so strong and such a competitor and just a freshman. Alabama is going to be wanting her back for postseason and getting that confidence on balance beam.
So that's 3 teams, Bridget. Who's your 4th? That's the tough question.
That is a very tough question. You've got Georgia Bulldogs, in my opinion. They have dealt with some injury early in season, losing Rachel Dixon, but Arkansas also, they had a completely different coaching transition, very smooth. They're very low in numbers, but they're using all the depth that they have. But the University of Kentucky, I'm going to go with them as my top 4, or as my #4 pick. You know, they have so much talent, and Tim just talks so highly of that talent. And if they can get it all together, they're going to be in that 4th spot.
It'll be fun to watch. Don't forget Auburn, Missouri. They've got some meets left. Those 2 teams have got some horses in the stable. They could do it as well. After 2 rotations, it's still tight here in Gainesville. Trinity Thomas and the Gators, they go to balance beam. Will she get another 10? Maddie Desch in Alabama, they go to floor looking for another season high. To the 3rd rotation, Florida Gators have moved over to the balance beam with that .125 lead over the visiting Crimson Tide. It started off as a 10th after rotation 1. It has expanded ever so slightly by 1/4 of a tenth, and now Peyton Richards, who's described as her coach Jenny Rowland as a cool cat, just as a freshman, said she can handle just about anything, and this may be one of the most pressure-packed moments on balance beam for this young lady this season.
Yeah, you talked about Jenny and calling her a cool cat. She doesn't say that about many athletes, but she did mention you can present any scenario and she turns it into a positive situation. Beautiful handspring layout, step out. I think her expression and her emotion during this beam routine is what sets her apart.
Peyton Richards is one of your all-around competitors tonight. You can see she sits in that 3rd spot behind her teammate Trinity and Lexi Graber. Obviously 2 events to go, so a lot can happen. Very tight in that all-around competition.
Very nice start for Florida. She has competed in every single meet this season, but starting things off, handspring, layout, step out. Watch her feet. She knows exactly where she is. Love the smile at the end, and then a side aerial right into a back full.
It looked like she almost
She was
leaned
a little bit
off
crooked.
to that side. Yeah, that was...
Gets it back, though, and gets that stick.
So Alonza Klopfer will lead off for Alabama, and last week when they had that injury to Griffin James, they had to put Alonza Klopfer in, and they put her in that last spot. Actually, they had a lineup change and put her into that last spot, so the pressure was really on her in a situation where she wasn't expecting to be, and she answered the bell.
Yeah, Alabama really rallied last weekend and competed their heart and soul for teammate Griffin James. Head coach Dana Duckworth commented that Alonzo just worked so hard in the gym and she wants to be in this lineup. She is proving herself tonight.
Dana Duckworth said they had an intense week of training after that Arkansas meet, coming into this Florida meet, and she said, we're going to Florida to be ferocious. And I think they've done that so far.
Absolutely. Final pass. Very nice start for Alabama. And 1.5 right into a front layout. As the visiting team, you don't have your home crowd, so you have to go out there and just go lights out. Very nice double pike to end that floor routine. Nice start.
They're going to need a nice start. Peyton Richards on beam for Florida, 9.9 in the leadoff position. Now Sydney Johnson-Sharp, the sophomore from right here in Florida, coached by her mom, Brandy Johnson, who competed in the 1988 Olympics.
Sydney is very impressive on this event. I would say this is her event. She loves to perform, and this is where she gets her opportunity. A little bit of a balance check on that front tuck. A very rare sighting of a front tuck. You do not see a lot of those in NCAA. And that is a huge error for Florida. Peyton put up a solid 9.9, but that will be a 5/10 deduction for Sid. Another balance check.
So here's an opportune time to mention again, Florida trying to clinch their second consecutive regular season SEC title. If they win tonight, they clinch it. The only team that can catch them is Alabama. So a lot on the line, and certainly with that miss, it comes into question just a little bit more.
A lot of added pressure for the next 4 competitors on this event. And a difficult dismount right here. Handstand, layout, step out right into a back roll. They are definitely going to want to drop that score.
Tomorrow we've got men's basketball coverage, doubleheader, of course. It's Georgia taking on Vanderbilt at 6 Eastern time. Then at 8:30, it's Ole Miss hosting Alabama. Wednesday, we've got another college basketball doubleheader. First, Georgia takes on South Carolina at 6:30 Eastern. Then at 8:30, it's Arkansas hosting the Tennessee Vols, right here on the SEC Network and streaming live on the ESPN app. Shalyn Olson's second up on the floor exercise. Alonza Klopp for 9.85. Sydney Johnson-Sharp obviously just fell off the balance beam, so this is a pivotal moment in tonight's competition. Can Alabama capitalize?
This is a big moment, and Shalyn went after Griffin last week and put up a huge score. She has a career best of 9.9, and they are going to need that right now. She's a part of the Canadian national team, and you're going to see why right here. Double-double, 2 flips, 2 twists.
When referring to last week, Dana Duckworth said Shalyn was the perfect gymnast to go after the Griffin injury because she's got that elite pedigree, she's focused, and she's a gamer, and she knew in that situation that she could be the one to calm the team and get them back on track, and that's exactly what she did.
step out, right into a double tuck. A little bit of a shuffle on that landing, a little bit low, had to take a hop forward. Remarkable first pass. Ends things with a very difficult combination of a front tuck step out right into a double tuck. But this first pass,
This is big time gymnastics.
2 flips, 2 twists. Very impressive. And just needed a little bit more energy here. She's a little bit low on that double tuck. Would love to see her jump to a lunge, but again, she has that elite pedigree. She knows exactly where she is.
Our first look at Alyssa Baumann in tonight's competition. Sydney Johnson-Sharp, a 9.3. So they're going to want to drop that score. And certainly this Florida beam lineup, it is stacked. They've got 4 gymnasts in the top 15 in the country, 3 in the top 6. So they could still put up a huge score here, but the pressure has just been ramped up on Alyssa and the last 4 gymnasts in this rotation.
And Alyssa scored a 9.925 last week on this event. She's almost aggressive on the balance beam. You'll see her arms and her finishes. All the way down to her fingertips, just making sure she ends every movement right where she needs to be.
Alyssa is a 2-time SEC champion on this event and currently 6th in the nation.
If there's anyone that can get this Florida team back on track, I have to give it to Alyssa. She is very calm and confident on the balance beam right now. It's only 4 inches wide. And a round off, 1.5. A little bit of lack of control on that dismount, but she fought for that stick. We'll see if the judges give her that stick. But showing off some flexibility right here. Her front leg is a little bit high, but she hits that 180-degree split and finishes with a nice round off 1.5. A little bit of lack of rotation there, but she fights for that landing.
Hugs from the head coach are always nice. Now Luisa Blanco, the gymnast that is stepping in for the injured Griffin James. You can see she's got a pedigree. She comes in with some accolades as a junior athlete, and now she is being counted on in a big spot. Shallon Olsen with that big tumbling, only a 9.775. So Bridget, they had to have nailed her on that dismount. They're going to want to drop that score. Alyssa Baumann's beam routine, 9.9. So 2.99 so far for Florida.
Nice double pike. One thing, Luisa is beautiful on this event because of her toe point. You watch her toes, she actually goes way over her execution.
In Dana's words, she's breathtaking, and you can see that form is a difference maker for her.
Absolutely. She only has a 9.2 on this event, so she is definitely wanting to gain that confidence. Nice double tug. You saw her take a couple hops backwards. You want to see these gymnasts get right to their lunge, right to their finish to eliminate any possible deduction. Final pass. Very nice job for Luisa. Dana said she's breathtaking, and I have to agree. Her tumbling right here, double tuck. Would love to see her just jump to a lunge. Don't try to stick it cold. Very nice front fold right into her front layout, into a scale.
Nicely done for the freshman.
Rachel Gowie.
Now Rachel Gowie, number 3 in the country currently, co-SEC champion on balance beam with 2 of her teammates last year. She also has an elite pedigree, was in the Olympic trials in 2016. As we mentioned, uneven bars, Pan American Games gold medalist as well.
Rachel has a 9.975 on this event. Right now, Florida is going to want to count all the scores for the remaining competitors. See that 9.3, they're gonna want to drop that. Very nice handspring layout, step out, layout, step out. Just the dismount here for Rachel. So far, very nice routine. Gainer full, and gets that
stick. Friday Night Heights rolls on with 2 more meets tonight, immediately following our meet. Jordan Weber and the number 14 Arkansas Razorbacks host number 20 Auburn. That should be a good one. Then we wrap it up with number 6 LSU at number 18 Missouri. Catch all the action on the SEC Network and streaming live on the ESPN app. Jordan Weber doing a great job so far in her first year at Arkansas. Now Shea Mahoney follows Luisa Blanco's 9.85, so a solid career high for Luisa.
Shea is so fun to watch on this event. From her tumbling, but what really sets her apart is her artistry. Very nice high double tuck to start things.
Shea is a junior national champion on this event.
Alabama's going to need some help from Florida if they want to take the lead. But Shea is doing a great job so far on this floor routine.
Rachel Gowey, by the way, at 9.95, flirted with perfection on beam.
Shea's season high on this event is a 9.925. And I think she might just match that tonight. Maybe even a little bit higher, 9.95. That was a very nice floor routine.
I tell you what, Alabama is doing everything they can. They have two career highs so far in this floor rotation. Now Trinity Thomas on beam. She knows how to get a 10, Bridget.
She is stunning on all 4 events, but balance beam, I think, is her event. She just is so calm up there and just does her skill so beautifully. She makes anyone think you can do it.
The month of February has been very good for Trinity Thomas on beam. 2 perfect 10s. Trying to get one more here. And she follows Rachel Gowey. She's set up for it. Rachel Gowey, 9.95. Now's her chance. She hits perfect. The judges might just do it. See that 9.3 still looming large for Florida. They just need 2 more hits, though.
Not many athletes that get to say float on balance beam. Trinity is one of them. One arm back handspring right into a layout step out. What could have been a little bit of a balance check there. You saw her kind of wiggle her arm. She got it right back, continued moving to get that connection.
Is that enough of a wiggle to move the judge's pencil is my question, though, because this is perfect otherwise.
We'll have to see. Side aerial, back. Oh, a little bit of a shuffle on that dismount. Very, very small hop. But that is going to be a big score. And you see right here, she goes front aerial, into a beat jump. And right here, she kind of goes a little bit crooked, but gets it right back for that swing down. But I'm being extremely picky there. But she does not stick this dismount, unfortunately.
Slides those feet, probably a half a tenth. We'll see what the judges do. Shay Mahoney over on floor exercise, though. She follows up a career high from Luisa Blanco with a season high of a 9.925. Maddie Desch next. Lexi Graber will anchor this rotation. They need a couple big ones.
Maddie has a career high of a 9.95 on this event.
Currently ranked 16th in the nation on this event. She is a former elite, a former world champion. She was part of the 2014 U.S. team that won gold.
This is a long tumbling pass. Right into her lead series. And Alabama is looking to drop that 9.775 from Shallon Olsen.
Trinity Thomas, meanwhile, a 9.95 for her routine. Maddie Desch needs to try to match it.
Alabama hasn't put up any huge scores here, but they're just being very consistent. They're kind of riding that 9.875 wave. Would love to see a big 9.9. And nice finish for Maddie Desch.
The thing that amazes me is that the energy difference in the arena for the home team on floor versus the visiting team. It seems to stand out more here than anywhere else.
Yeah, it's your home crowd. But Florida has very respectable fans. They love big gymnastics. And Maddie just put up 2 huge passes in that floor routine. Nice control on her landings. Hopefully it will be a big score for them.
Sophomore Leah Clapper will close things out for Florida on beam. She's from Ann Arbor, Michigan. Gym America, her coach and club owner as a junior, is a former Florida Gator as well, Claudia Kretschmer. Maybe encourage her to come down here to Florida.
And she has a 9.9, 9.95, another 9.95, and another 9.9 ahead of her, but they are going to want to drop that 9.3, so pressure is on. Very nice handspring layout.
Did she just show off that landing, or was that my imagination? She just gave it a little extra pizzazz.
I definitely think she gave it a little extra something.
I think if I did that on a 4-inch wide balance beam, I would as well. You earned it. Maddie Desch on floor, 9.875, so not keeping pace with these 9.95s from Florida.
Leah is set up for a big score here, coming off of 2 9.95s. Just the dismount.
They are #1 in the country for a reason, and they just showed it. The door opened with a fall, but they slammed it shut in the Crimson Tide's face with that beam routine. Unbelievable rotation.
Start things off, handspring layout. See her foot, she is a little bit off the beam, but did not have a single wobble. Little short on that split. Get that back leg up a little bit more for that 180 degree. I'm very interested to see what the judges have. That was a beautiful beam routine.
Lexi Graber last up on floor exercise. She's number 12 in the nation on this event. As we mentioned, they're trying to drop a 9.775. They have broken 9.9 once. Need to do it one more time. Leah Clapper, a 9.975 for her beam routine. One judge gave her a 10.
Very nice tuck pull in for Lexi. Lexi has to be perfect on this floor routine to really help Alabama just get closer to Florida. Final pass for Lexi. Front through right to a double pike. Very nice Florida team for Lexi. Exactly what Alabama needed right now. Starts things off with a huge tuck full in. I would take a 10th on that landing. She did shuffle her feet just a little bit, but that's going to be a big score.
So that unbelievable balance beam rotation, which looked like it could go sideways for Florida, ends up tying their season high with a 49.675. So outstanding for them. Just waiting for Lexi Graber's score here on floor exercise. For Alabama, a 9.9 would feel so good. Maybe, just maybe, keeping them within striking distance of the home team. It is a 9.925 season high for Lexi Graber. They needed it. It was a big moment, and the junior answered the call for the Crimson Tide. Coming up, Bridget and I will get you caught up on all the SEC weekly honors and preview. Number 20 Auburn at number 14 Arkansas. You're watching Friday Night Heights on the SEC Network. Florida hosting number 8 Alabama, and it's a close one, but Florida stretches the lead ever so slightly by .375 after 3 rotations. John Roethlisberger, Bridget Sloan. Bridget, weekly honors, we got some familiar faces.
We definitely do. SEC Gymnast of the Week, no surprise there, Trinity Thomas. She has been lights out. And then a new face, Gracie Day, SEC Specialist of the Week for her bar performance. And then Kaya Johnson, we've said it so many times, she is the SEC Freshman of the Week yet again.
Coming up next, we have 2 more matchups. Kennedy Hambrick and the Arkansas Razorbacks are hosting the number 20 Auburn Tigers. That is going to be a tough one, closely contested. Then following that one more time, LSU, number 6 LSU visits number 18 Missouri. A whole lot more gymnastics coming on Friday Night Heights. Do not go away once you leave us. And Sunday, if you're looking for a great matchup, you might not find a better one all season. Number 3 Utah visits number 3 UCLA. Yeah, you heard me right. They're both ranked number 3 in the nation. Something's got to give, and these 2 teams, look for them to be contending for a national title at the end of the season. Utah's last win at UCLA was a 2018 dual meet at Pauley Pavilion. They'll try to do that again. A lot of energy here in the O-Dome, and there should be. Florida trying to clinch the SEC regular season title. They got one event yet to go to do it. Alabama goes next to their nemesis, the balance beam with Alonza Klopfer. Florida tries to close it out on floor exercise with number 8 in the country, Alyssa Bauman. I got to tell you, I was about to go with the red hair tonight, and I'm so glad I didn't, because I would not have been the only one. I love the dance night. It's Friday Night Heights, and you got to dance on Friday night. Our meet so far, it's been a good one. It started off with a 1/10 lead by Florida after 1. It grew to .125, and now it's .375, and you can see what they've done. Florida tied a season high on beam. Trinity Thomas doing what she does. Both of these teams excellent on the uneven bars as well, but Florida really kind of wears you down, right? The lead is small at the beginning, but they slowly chip away. What has to happen in this meet for Alabama to somehow pull this off, Bridget?
Alabama is going to have to be perfect on balance beam, and they're going to need some uncharacteristic mistakes from Florida on this floor rotation.
Balance beam we talked about has been a little bit of an Achilles heel, so to speak, for Alabama this year. They've had some troubles in key moments. They really need to put it together, because Florida on floor exercise number 2 in the nation on that event.
Alabama just needs to remember that they are a top-ranked team, and you're not a top-ranked team by just being good on 1 or 2 events, but beam is the most troublesome event for them. And head coach Dana Duckworth said when they went into practice on Sunday, it was game time. They did multiple beam sets because she wants to see them build confidence and make sure that they're ready for the rest of the season and then on to postseason.
Alonza, as a junior, went to North Stars Gymnastics in New Jersey. Tony Gaiman, outstanding coach out there, won the JO National Championships on this event. And I got to tell you, every time we've seen this young lady compete, she has a poise that I think Dana Duckworth's got to really be happy with.
She's very dependable and she's consistent, which is exactly what you want your leadoff to be. Just the dismount.
She can't do it better. And that is what Alabama needed, and she is pumped.
Very, very nice start for Alabama. We said they had to be perfect, and that was just about as perfect as she could do. Ends it with a gorgeous 1.5. Gets that stuck landing. That was a great start for Alabama.
Alabama needs at least 4 more of those. Now Florida, Peyton Richards starts things off. She currently sits in the 3rd spot in the all-around after 3 rotations behind Trinity Thomas and Lexi Graber, her teammate. Trinity Thomas, her teammate, rather.
Very nice double layout.
There is your leaderboard. Trinity with a half-tenth lead over Lexi Graber, and there's Peyton Richards, 0.175 behind.
When we talked to head coach Jenny Rowland about Peyton, she said she doesn't even realize the impact she has on this Florida team. She's just light in the gym, and she even mentioned that a lot of these athletes love rotating with her in practice because she's just super fun and light, and you want to be in that atmosphere and with that energy when you're practicing.
What a start for Florida.
Wow, awesome job by freshman Peyton Richards. She is really becoming quite the competitor for Florida.
Alonza Klopfer on beam, by the way, a 9.9. I suspect Peyton's going to match that here.
Absolutely, very nice. Front through right to double tuck. Just a very impressive athlete, and she has been meshing so well with this Florida team, finding her place in all 4 lineups.
Emily Gaskins next up. Very unique mount.
Takes it right to the beam, and you'll see what I mean. Very nicely done. Back handspring, very difficult. I'm not sure how you teach that.
That 9.9 from Alonza Klopfer was a career high for her. I almost thought it could have been higher than that, Bridget.
I thought it could have been a little bit higher also. Not sure what the judges took off, but
Peyton Richards on floor exercise at 9.85, so a half-tenth. Alabama chips into that lead. That's what they're going to have to do for 4 more routines.
we mentioned already, balance beam is kind of the Achilles heel for this Alabama team, and it is a make or break event, and I know Dana wants this event to be a solid 6 up 5 count for them. Very nice series.
Emily had ankle surgery late last fall and still kind of coming back from that. She's really one of those game-changing athletes. When she's 100% healthy, look out, because she can be right up there with the top all-arounders in the SEC.
And just the dismount, gainer full. A little bit of a shuffle on that landing, but other than that, I don't know what other deductions there were in that beam routine.
And you know she wanted that stick at the end of that routine.
She wanted it bad. Handspring, layout, step out, no room for air there. And then comes up just a little bit early on that landing, has to take 2 very small steps, but those are going to be crucial at this point in the competition.
Rachel Gowie's had a nice night. She mounts the floor exercise. Jenny says she is making the most of her senior year, not letting the stress and pressure get to her, trying to enjoy this last run as a Gator.
Rachel's artistry on this event, in my opinion, is what really sets her apart. Choreographer Jeremy Miranda has been doing the choreography for so many years, but really outdid himself with this floor routine. She has a 9.9 as a season high. Pretty significant hop on that final tumbling pass. A little too much energy there.
And Florida can afford some of those landings. They just can't afford that big mistake. And so far, 2 for 2.
And you'll see what I mean. Double tuck here, has to hop backwards, but gets right to that lunge. Stays inbounds.
Emily Gaskins on beam for Alabama, a 9.8, and that's a decent score, but I'll tell you, 9.8s are not going to help them at this point. They've got to be 9.9 pluses, and like you said, they need a few extra steps at the very minimum out of Florida. Shallon Olson, she's got some big-time gymnastics in this beam routine. Lots of risk, but can she get that reward?
She has been quite the world traveler, vying for a spot on the Canadian Olympic team, but comes right back into the NCAA competition floor. Very nice handspring layout, step out. One thing that she does bring is the difficulty, and you're going to see it at the end with her dismount.
She's got some international hardware, won a silver medal on the vault, the 2018 World Championships.
Alabama is going to have to be perfect for all of the competitors coming up. But the difficulty in this beam routine right here, back handspring, double pike, slight hop on the landing. But that was a solid set for Shallon.
That is such a big risk to take because you have to stick to make a difference, and that is such a hard one to stick, Bridget.
Absolutely, and takes her split right where she needs to be, 180, but a very difficult back handspring 2 feet, a little bit crooked from this angle, but only takes a very minor hop. But again, those minor hops are really going to add up here.
Got a little conference here on the floor exercise. It's either that or they're ordering dinner, I'm not sure, but we're waiting for Rachel Gowie's score. Amelia Hunley will be the next gymnast up, and you can see our slate of events there on the right coming up right after us. Don't go away. A lot of Friday night heights yet to come. Just getting things going. Jenny Rowland, in her 5th season, she was an assistant coach at Auburn University before coming here to Florida. Has had a lot of success, but I tell you what, when you're at Florida, it's national championship or bust, right, Bridget? And she has yet to win one of those. 9.9 for Rachel Gowie. That's ties a career high for her. And now Amelia Hunley, Hamilton, Ohio senior. Went to Cincinnati Gymnastics, had a nice elite career there.
And a fun fact about Amelia, she actually has a ton of dance in her background. Her parents owned a dance studio in Cincinnati, and she shows it in her artistry. And a lot of these judges are going to see very similar tumbling throughout the entire season. So this is where athletes can really separate themselves with their artistry. Amelia is so fun on this event. Very nice double pike. I love her expressions at the end of her tumbling.
Shallon Olson, a season high 9.875 for her.
Talk about getting the crowd involved. As a senior, she is soaking up every moment in the O-Dome in front of her home crowd. What a performance for senior Amelia Hunley. Wow.
Nobody has more fun than Amelia on floor. That was fantastic.
Absolutely. Second pass, double pike, very nice control on that landing, but the artistry in this floor team, I mean, you have to watch. She is so engaging, and whether you are a Florida fan or not, you're gonna watch that floor routine.
Now freshman Luisa Blanco follows Shalyn Olson, as we mentioned, 9.875. Right now the low score is a 9.8 that they're going to have to drop or hope to drop. Will absolutely need to drop the way things are going for Florida, and it still might not be enough. We'll see. Amelia Hundley, a 9.9 for that Florida team. So a pair of 9.9s with 3 to go for Florida. What do you do with that?
Well, that was a balance check, but covered up very well.
One of the most graceful balance checks I think I've ever seen.
And Luisa has a 9.925. Another balance check there. Alabama cannot afford to give any deductions. I have to give her credit, though. If you're going to have a balance check like that, recovering with dance, I don't know if the judges are going to take off for that first one, because she really did recover almost perfectly. She has a very nice round-off double twist. Slight hop on that landing. This Alabama team has got to start sticking those dismounts. But take a look right here. Very gorgeous. Handspring, layout, step out. But she dances right out of it. And watch her feet here. Very, very off balance there, but gets it right back.
The problem for Alabama now is those small deductions are huge deductions when they're trying to chase down the number 2 team in the country. Sydney Johnson-Sharp tries to rebound after a disappointing beam routine.
She actually choreographed most of this floor routine. I'm sure Jeremy Miranda had a little bit of input, but it was all Sid. Nice double Arabian. Had a fall on balance beam, so she is here to redeem herself.
Luisa Blanco at 9.8 for her beam routine.
She is quite the performer. Again, artistry is so important on floor exercise. Very nice double tuck. Talk about redeeming yourself. What a performance. Second pass, round off 1.5, front layout, right into her dance. I think they're gonna take a 10th on that landing. But very nice artistry throughout that entire routine.
That's cool. That last thing, I don't know what it's called, but it's cool. So Makari Doggett, the freshman, we talked about her tonight and how important she is to this Alabama team. You can see that knee is wrapped. She should be an all-arounder and really one of the top all-arounders in the SEC, but that knee has been nagging her a little bit. She's had to be managed a little bit so she's healthy when it gets to the end of the season, and she is so important for this Alabama team. As we just saw, 2 9.8s now for Alabama on this event.
And Makari has a season high of a 9.9 on balance beam. And Alabama needs a 9.9 or better.
Earlier tonight, she crushed a bar routine, tied her career high, 9.95.
Dismount. Side aerial back pull. Again, has to take a step on that dismount. All of these beam routines are very clean and they're performed well, but they've got to stick these landings if they want to be in contention for winning this meet tonight.
So one more to go for Alabama on beam. That'll be Lexi Graber. And now the one that sells tickets to Florida Gymnastics, Trinity Thomas. She is your leader in the all-around just by a half a tenth. You can see she needs a 9.975 to win that here this evening, and she can also close out the team competition with this routine as well.
Trinity hasn't gotten a perfect 10 on floor exercise, and I told her I wanted a 10-0 tonight.
I have a feeling she does too.
I think she does. You're about to see her fly on this first pass. Double layout. Sticks that landing. Wow.
We don't throw wows around just randomly. That was ridiculous. Trinity just needs a 9.525 to close out the team title for Florida and their second straight SEC regular season title.
Head coach Jenny Rowland mentioned that Trinity has really taken ownership of her gymnastics, of her career, just kind of her life. And you see it when she competes. She's just so calm and confident out there and very comfortable on all four events. Final pass.
Oh!
Not going to get a perfect 10 tonight, but had to take a pretty significant hot floor, but that's going to be a big score for Florida.
Tell me, Bridget, when you're at that point of the routine, when it's almost perfect as we look at the replay, are you trying a little too hard right here?
I think she opened up a little bit too early there and had to take that step forward, but showing off a little bit of flexibility here. Can you do that?
That's how I watch TV at night, actually. It's quite comfortable. That is amazing. Amazing athlete, so fun to watch. 9.9 for Trinity Thomas on that floor routine. That will get Florida the team title. But Lexi Graber has a chance. The team title is out of reach, but a 9.975 will win the all-around title outright. A tough task, but she's capable of it.
She had a mistake last week right here coming up. Handspring, layout 2 feet. No mistake tonight.
Macari Doggett, a 9.85 right before her. Dana Duckworth said after that fall last week, she went back into the gym and she said that is never happening again, and just had fire in her eyes and a determination, and this young lady certainly exudes that determination for sure.
She is so impressive for this Alabama team, and you know, you need gamers on your team that all the other athletes can feed off of, and that is Lexi Graber. She is so strong on all four events and trying to get this balance beam under her belt. Very nice front toss right to a scale into a gainer full and gets the stick. It's going to be close.
Nonetheless, redemption for Lexi Graber after last week. So disappointed in herself for that mistake, but not tonight, and she gives herself a shot at the all-around title.
Beautiful front toss right into a scale, and then gainer full, and gets that stick. That has got to make her feel so good and confident in herself. Very, very nice job.
Last gymnast to go will be Alyssa Bauman on floor exercise. number 8 in the country, high score of a 9.975. And do you think she knows that we have not witnessed a 10 this season? And do you think she'll do it for us, Bridget?
I hope so. If she really loves us, she'll do it. We talked about Lexi being a gamer for Alabama. Alyssa Bauman is a gamer for Florida. Very nice and clean double tuck to start things off.
Lexi Graber's score on balance beam a 9.925, so she just misses the all-around by 0.025. Trinity Thomas will be your all-around champion this evening.
Final pass for Alyssa. She has been, I don't want to say perfect, I don't want to jinx it, but this has been a flawless floor routine. I don't think we're going to see a perfect 10 from that floor routine, but that is going to be a huge score for Florida, and that's just a confidence boost for Alyssa. Very, very impressive floor exercise rotation for the Florida Gators. And Alyssa goes out there and just has fun. I don't even know if she knew that Florida had already won the meet, but that was an amazing floor routine for Alyssa.
And I don't know if you could hear that, but Jenny Rowland just told her team that they are the SEC regular season champions once again. Congratulations to the Florida Gators, back-to-back regular season champs. Friday Night Heights has been presented by Belk. Crowds, let's take a look at Winning with Style, brought to you by Belk, and who else would it be, Bridget?
No surprise here, Trinity Thomas. Not a perfect night for her, but a well-deserved win in the all-around. She is just remarkable on all 4 events. Balance beam was her event tonight. I mean, watching her, I don't even like to talk because she's just so pretty to watch.
She wins the all-around title. Alyssa Bauman, by the way, a 9.975 for that floor routine. 6th all-around title in 7 meets for Trinity Thomas. She has been dominant and a great night for Florida as they win the regular season SEC title. They get it done in Gainesville. Final score 198.05 to 197.45 for Bridget Sloan. I'm John Roethlisberger. So long from Gainesville. Let's get you out to more gymnastics as number 20 Auburn takes on number 14 Arkansas from Fayetteville.